A man goes blind because an emergency room physician's assistant was incompetent and failed to recognize that he had a hole in his eye. You want to know what this is about? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law in the state of New York. This gentleman suffered an injury to his eye. He didn't know what was going on, but he knew that his eye was extremely irritated. An ambulance was called and he gets taken to his local emergency room. In the emergency room, he's not seen by a physician, but rather by a physician's assistant. She does a series of eye examinations using different instruments and comes to the conclusion that he has a scratch on his cornea. Gives him some medication, says, listen, no problem, you'll be fine, go to an ophthalmologist in 2 days, and now you'll follow up from there. And that's exactly what he did. He goes home, but later that night he's having severe pain and swelling in his eye. And there's a lot of fluid leaking. He thinks it's tearing. The next morning, he calls the ophthalmologist, said, listen, I'm having severe pain in my eye. Can I come in this morning? He says, no problem. The eye doctor goes ahead, examines him, and now what does he say? He said, listen, I've got to get you into surgery immediately. He's like, why? He said, you have a hole in your eye. He's like, what do you mean I have a hole in my eye? How could I have a hole in my eye? The physician's assistant in the emergency room examined me, told me I was fine, have just a small scratch on my cornea. He said, no, no, no. You've got a puncture in your eye that needs to be taken care of surgically immediately. So now he gets rushed to the hospital and they can't put him under anesthesia. You know why not? Because he had eaten breakfast that morning. So they had to give him local anesthetic. He's awake while they're operating on his eye to close up this puncture on his eye. Imagine that. You're on the operating room table. You see the doctor moving. You see the doctor using instruments. How crazy is that? They closed up his eye as best they could. And his own doctors told him, listen, if this had been diagnosed when you went into the emergency room, you would have had a very high likelihood that you would not be blind today. You might have some slight vision problems, but certainly nowhere near the problem that you have today. So why do I share this quick story with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding how the incompetence, the violations from the basic standard of medical care by a physician's assistant in a local emergency room caused this gentleman to go blind in one eye. And I realize you're watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you've got legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.